Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and I'm making some cards for a swap group. So my team and another team, we've got together and we are swapping cards that we've made. So this is the first one. The official name for this is a Joyfold card. I call it a flip-flop card because you flip that and you flop that and there's your card. So the different DSPs that I've used, I'm still trying to get used to all of these names at the moment. So if I get the catalogue out, I'll show you the DSPs. Where is it? Come on. Right. So I'm using the Pansy Petals. So that's here. And so that's the Pansy Petals. That's on one side. And then we've got this gingham also in there. And I'm using the gingham in here as well. And then the DSP that I've got in the middle, that's these. And these are in the in colours. And for this card that I've made here, I'm using Fresh Freesia. The sentiment here, that comes from Peekaboo Farm. And we've got this here. I really like that, sending hugs. I think that's nice for any occasion. And also I've used the Miss You. And I've put that on the front there and I've stamped it in Fresh Freesia ink. And the punch that I've used are these ovals punches. So we've got the scalloped edge. It's giving a nice reflection of my tripod stuff going on there, and also a plain edge oval as well. So that's what I've used that. So I thought I'd show you how I've put it together. There are loads of these on the internet. This is just a way of me just showing off some of the papers that we have. And I'm going to make a very, very similar card, but using pale papaya. And I'll go through all of the measurements. You can do this out of one piece of A4 cardstock and have some bits and pieces. This is what you kind of get left over. So I've got a big long strip of it. I've got this square. What else have I got? I've got a bit of an oblong going on there. So you end up with some leftovers. These are great for sentiments and little bits of scrap that you need. So this piece measures 9 3/8 by 4 1/4. And that's scored at 6 1/4. Okay, and then we've got this piece, and you'll see that I scored it incorrectly, so I need to make sure that that's at the back, and that is 8 1/2 by 3 1/4, and that's scored on the long side at 4 1/4. I did it at 4 1/8, and so it ends up incorrect, but if you put it like that, nobody will ever know. And just fold and burnish those score lines so you've got nice crisp folds on there. So that's that one. And then for this one, so what I've used to do that cutting and scoring is my paper trimmer. Wouldn't be without this piece of kit. And yes, I've still got the plastic bit on it, I haven't taken it off. I've cut up some pieces of DSP. I'll go through those measurements in a moment. And I'll also write a blog post for this, and it'll have all of the measurements on there. So write them down if you want to. I like to write things down while I'm watching YouTube videos. Or you can just go straight to the blog post that goes with this video, and it'll have all the measurements on there. So I'm going to start off first with my big piece of card. And I've got a piece of the in colour DSP. Got some different designs with that. I like this diagonal crisscross. You've got that on the other side. So I'm just going to put that in there, and that's a nice tone on tone effect going on there. I'm going to use wet glue to put all of this together. So all of this comes from our new catalogue, which launched on the 4th of May. So all of this stuff is brand new. I've got 12 cards to make for my swaps. And so I'm making 6 pairs of cards. So this is the first pair, and I'll have another design of card for the second pair, and so on. That piece of DSP, I forgot to say, measures 6 inches by 4 inches. So you've got a nice 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. You can layer that further if you want to. So you could actually, if you wanted to, have another colour piece of card or paper that's 6 by 4, and then put another layer underneath that or on top of that, and that could perhaps be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you can layer it up as much as you like. I haven't got anything on the inside here, but you could if you wanted to. I'm just going to put something on the outside, and I've got a piece of the gingham. Now I had a little bit of a disaster with the measurement of that. But I don't think you'll ever know, but that should be, what should that be? That actually measures 3 1/8, so 2 7/8 by 4 inches, and that gives you an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So that's going to go on there. Again, it's still tone on tone. And we're using wet glue just so that I can be accurate when I'm putting that down onto the card. So we're using this pale papaya, but it looks quite different in the card, in this DSP and in this DSP as well. So that's the outside of my card. This piece is going to sit like that. So I'll decorate the front first. No, I won't. I'll decorate the inside first. So the inside, I've got a piece of this gingham DSP, and that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. That sits in there like that. So that's just going to be a layer, because I'm going to put some white card on top of that. Now I could stamp my sentiment. Make sure you got this bit on that side. I could stamp my sentiment in pale papaya, but I think it might be too pale. And I think I'm going to go in with black. So I'm going to use the same sentiments. So I'll use Sending Hugs for the inside. So I've just got a normal, what block is this? This is a D block. You could use one of the narrower ones. Right, let's find my black ink, which I didn't get out. Now I would suggest that you stamp your card before you stick it down, just in case you have a bit of an issue with the stamping. So I've got Memento black ink. I'm just going to load up my stamp, hoping that's okay. Line it up. I've got a dirty block. That needs cleaning. And then hopefully that's straight. That's straight enough for me. And then you can put your sentiment on there. You could decorate that a bit more, maybe with some flowers and things, but I'm just keeping it like that for now, just so that there's room to put that sentiment, to put your, your written bit in there. So a bit more glue. So this gingham DSP is ideal for lining up bits of card on top of it. It's ideal for that. The Peekaboo Farm, this is in the new catalogue, and I'm going to be using this really soon. This is not my type of stamp set. Very rarely go for this, but I saw the projects that were made in the catalogue and I had to have a go. Let me see if I can show you very, very quickly. I don't know if I'll be able to. Where is that? Page 66. Let me know if you want a copy of this catalogue. All you've got to do is send me an email. And if you're in the UK, I'll send it over to you. So here's the Peekaboo Farm stamp set. And here are some of the projects that are made with it. How cute is that? And you can just fussy cut these little hooves and trotters and just stick them just on the outside of that circle. I think that is so cute, and on top of that wall. I can't wait to play with that. And I've got the stamping blends that will go with that. I really cannot wait. That's coming up soon. Okay, so that's the card, part of the card that was sitting there like that. So I just need to decorate the front. And I think with this, it needs something that's quite bright and colourful. So there I've got these lovely pansies. I thought there were butterflies on there, but they're not, they're just pansies. So that's going to sit on there like that. We've got all sorts of different colours of gingham in this DSP as well. So that's the Fresh Freesia gingham. I'm going to put that on there like that. And so you've got the pale papaya there, picking up the pale papaya in the card. So I'm going to stick that on there, and I'm also going to decorate the front of this as well. And I am going to stamp in black again because we've got, I think that's black on there. It's dark enough to get away with it being black. So what I want to do is, what am I going to do? I'm going to get the Miss You stamp. That's also on Peekaboo Farm. And I'm going to stamp that onto some white card. Like that. And I'm going to get the oval punch and just feed that through there and just get it central before I punch it out. Like that. And then with some pale papaya, I'm going to punch out the oval, the scalloped oval. So I'm going to stick that on there with dimensionals, and yeah, I think that's fine with the black. I was worried that wasn't going to work, but I'm happy with that. Mini dimensionals. And we'll bling this up a bit in a minute. Put that on there, so that raises it a little bit. And then we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this. I'm not going to stick this on the card yet. What I'm going to do is, I'll just leave that there for a moment. I want to stick this on first because it's just easier than not trying to press that down to get it all to stick. So what we're going to do is put some glue on the back of this and get it on there as central as we possibly can. I'm just going to eyeball it. I hope this inspires you to have a go at a Joyfold card. You can, if you were making quite a few cards, if you had a few birthdays coming up or you wanted to make a few thank you cards, this is ideal. You can get a real production line going with these. So line it up before that glue sets, just get it into position, and then press it down. Like that. So we've got that, like that. And then what we'll do is we'll just put that on there, and I'm going to put a few rhinestones on it just to make it a bit blingy. like a bit of bling. So get that in the middle. And where are my rhinestones? There we are. So I'm using these champagne rhinestones. I love these. These are so pretty. Put those on there like that. And there you have it. Really, really easy to do. It's just about, you can make it more fancy. You could put some ribbon around that. You could perhaps put some ribbon around it to keep it all together. You've got to untie it. You could use more layering on this. You could include things on here. You could put some stamping on here. You could do whatever you like. But for a beginner, I think that's ideal. Anybody can do that. It's just about being accurate, which clearly I couldn't be, but it is just about being accurate. There we have it. I'm really pleased with those. And I'm going to now think of what I'm going to make for my other 10 cards. 12 of these I've got to make for our swap group because I've got lots of swaps going on. So I'm going to think of something else and I'll make a YouTube video showing you what I did. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back again soon. Bye bye.